And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saints. It's Wednesday hump day, y'all, and we are here, man. We gonna talk a little bit about military service. Y'all know I was in the United States Army, paratroop. You can see it behind me. And I never really paid attention to other branches and how they handle their initial training. You know what I mean? Basic training for the Army, boot camp, I guess, for the Navy. I think the Marine Corps, I think they still call it boot camp. Air Force, I don't know what they call it, summer camp, whatever they doing. Um, but yeah, I knew about Marine Corps training. I knew about the when you get off the boat, you have to, get off the bus, you have to line up, and there have the paintings of feet, and you got to line up on the feet paintings. You just seen that for movies and stuff like that. I know it was like in the Army. I never really talked about what was going on in the Navy. And then in the news, prior to all these active shooter events, there was a big story about one of the aircraft carriers, and I forget which one, it's in dry dock, and there were an alarming number of sailors who were self-deleting themselves, and there seems to be a spike in desertions. So while I was in Dallas, shout out to Fresh and Fit Dallas, I got to highlight one of my people out there, JR, who he's part of Fresh and Fit Dallas. Again, they did a lot of good work out there for that meetup with the Fresh and Fit podcast, and he's Navy, hardcore Navy, a real sailor. You know what I mean? So warrior. He's done deployments and stuff like that. So the brother was nice enough to jump on and explain to me what's going on. So without a further ado, give it up for JR, everybody. What's good, brother? What is good? How you feeling?
I'm pretty good. And yourself, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I had to look for the button. It was for the applause. Bro, first of all, well done out there with the meetup, man. I'm still talking about that. I was with Fresh and Myron over the weekend, and yeah, man, they were like, yo, that was popping. That was good times. They were still talking about it when I was down there.
Yeah, definitely. I was. It was a blessing to meet those guys. It was a blessing to meet you, and a bunch of other guys that had the same mindset. It was a blast. It was probably a weekend I'll definitely not forget.
Yeah, man, y'all hooked that up. Man. I ain't gonna lie to you, that was powerful. Candace M's in the house. What's good, love? Thanks for coming through, showing some love. And Jr., Candace, that's one of the monster mods over there, Fresh and Fit. So, bro, yo, you gonna have to tell everybody who you are, man, because we've met. I know you. We've shared drinks. You know what I mean? We've done that. We've broken bread. You feel me? But everyone out there doesn't know you, man. So why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Okay, so my name's JR. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I did serve I was near 7 years from 2005 to 2012. I did serve in the Navy. I did get a couple ribbons. Did 2 deployments. Met a bunch of people that made an influence on my life and impact on my life. But I only do share time with just a small minute of those people that I've met because people come and go. But overall, I did serve in San Diego and a little time up in Lemoore, California as an AZ3.
AZ3, what's that, bro? For those of those people.
AZ3, yes, sir. So AZ3 is aviation administration, man. I know that a lot of people call it lazy 3 because all we do is sit behind the desk. And what we did is that we record numbers on jets. So as far as like if a jet flew a certain amount of miles or time in the air, we would have record it. So every time it hits like a certain, number, we would have to do maintenance on that jet just so it doesn't like crash or it doesn't fail while these pilots are training in the air. But before I actually did that, I was actually an undesignated seaman. That was a lot tougher than I expected. I wasn't really that smart coming out of high school. So they were like, listen, we'll give you this job. You get to look around like a free agent, and if you like that job, you'll able to like test for it. Sounds like that sounded cool on paper, but when I got to the boat, they treated us very expendable. We were pretty much nobodies, but we did run the ship though. We were the ones who drove. Ran the helm on the ship. We did the lookouts. We painted. We cleaned the ship. All that good stuff. But it was not fun at all.
Yeah, that's the job I wouldn't want in the Army. Like, you let you in, you just kind of do whatever. Like, oh yeah, that means you're going to the front. Like you're gonna anything there's a weapon or weapon system, they'll have you on it. So yeah, because and it's funny, I was an air traffic controller, bro. In the Army, and then after I worked with the FAA. Yo, we got Roderick in the house, man. Fresh and Fit Dallas up in here, man. What's good, bro? Thanks for coming through. Yeah, man, y'all rock that shit out. But so they let you do that and kind of get a feel for what you think you might want to do, and then you would just test for that. And so you tested for your aviation position, which in the Army and in the FAA, that sounds like flight operations. That's what that job would be on our side of it. Flight operations, which is cool. That's a really good job to have.
It was actually this is a funny story. What happened was that I hated that undesignated seaman so much that they gave me a list of things that I was actually qualified for. I am colorblind, so they didn't let me do all the things that I want to do as far as weapons training and stuff like that. IT, solar stuff like that would require me to read monitors and stuff. So they're like, hey, listen, we give you 5 jobs. And as far as I remember, I think one of them was a cook, admin, and back to undesignated. And I think the other one was, I forgot what the other 2 were. It's been so long. But I picked the one job that I had no idea what it was, which was the AZ, because I was on a destroyer. We didn't have jets or anything like that. It was a carrier, not a carrier. It was a destroyer that had 300 people on it. And I was like, you know what? I'll take this AZ job. I didn't even know AZ was at the time. I didn't even know even AZ was even a thing. I hated my job so much that I actually took this test and I guessed on every question. It was a 200 question test. I guessed on every single one of them and I made it by 3 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yo, that's crazy. I'm surprised they didn't give you the option to do military police. What's that, shore patrol in the Navy? I'm surprised they didn't give you that option. I mean, you built like a mountain, bro. You'd have been perfect.
They didn't really care about how I looked. They were just get him out of here, or, give him what he wants or give him what he deserves.
Wow, that's crazy. On a destroyer, I would imagine you guys will have 50 caliber, 60 caliber type machine guns mounted on the sides, or no? Is that a thing that
correct.
They have?
Oh, we did, correct. But only a certain handful of people were able to handle those weapons. But there were the people that were I guess maintaining them were the GMs, the gunner's mates.
Okay.
Right. So they're the ones who got. And I wanted to become actually a gunner's mate, but again, I was colorblind, so they wouldn't let me handle those. Just become one of them.
Man, that's crazy, man. Because you don't need to see in color to put rounds on target, bro. The Army would have welcomed you with open arms, bro. Like, hey, man, we'll put you in a tank. You know what I mean? We'll give you that. You, like I said, you're a big dude, man. Like, here's a M60 and some bullets. Go over there and shoot shit. That's how we would get down. You know what I mean? Teach you how to dress up like a tree and hide out there, bro. Yeah, like I said, 2 different worlds, but that's cool, man. That's cool. And before we go any further, man, thank you for your service, bro. That's what's up.
No, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, you're doing shit you didn't even want to do. I don't know, just get me in. So, so how was the process, man, when you went through? Okay, you went to see a recruiter. How did that go? Walk me through that process.
Okay, this is actually a funny story too. All right, so can I just take it a little back before I walk into the recruiter?
Yeah, take us back as far.
Okay, so what happened was that
you want to go, you know what I mean?
As an 18-year-old kid, I thought I knew everything. Just like any other 18-year-old kid. I did have a strong family background as far as having both my mom and dad in the house, but they knew what was best for me. They're like, hey, listen. Before I graduated, they always asked me what do you want to do? What do you want to do in when you grow up, right? And then they would ask me, every parent would ask me, or my parents would ask me, what do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 25 years? And how do you plan on getting there? And I would, obviously I'd give my mom, I don't know, Mom. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. And she would obviously get, very, scared about my future. And she always thought that maybe joining the military would be the best idea. Right. And I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to school. And again, in the back of my mind is I want to party. You know what I mean? Like what I see on MTV growing up, So I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to go to a big school, get a degree, all this good stuff. My mom knew that I wasn't good enough for that. So she's like, you know what? I'll pay for your first semester of community college. And she's like, if you fail, you got to go to the military. So I was like, Easy peasy. I'm a fly by passing colors, everything. Halfway through, even first semester, I dropped out because I was just not. It was not for me at that time. College is not for me. I was not smart enough to do it. It's like community level too. I was not good enough for it. I literally packed up my bags, middle class, and went straight to the recruiter's office. My mom wasn't there. I just signed up. So when I don't know how it is like when you signed up, but when you sign up for like the recruit office, like all of them are lined up next to each other.
Yeah, they were all in the same building in the
correct
strip mall. Yeah,
correct. It was like a strip mall, and I'm literally looking around like which one do I want to go to, which one do I feel like would be best for me, and I remember. I guess it was subconsciously that I went to the Navy one because when I was still in high school, those Navy recruits were like there giving out free things, talking to us about the Navy and how it would like benefit our future and all this good stuff. So I guess I was like, you know what? Subconsciously, I'll try the Navy. Walked in, they loved me with open arms. Or like, hey, what do you want to do? Why you want to become a sailor? Then I realized, like, maybe sailor or Marine would probably be best, but sailor, like the recruiters really like. They talked to me like I was their friend. I was like their best sailor. I was just like, man, these guys really want me. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. 9/11 just happened like a few years ago. I'm ready to protect this country, So I was like, yo, sign me up. Next year I signed that paper. Everything that all the talks that we were having out the window. As soon as I signed that paper, you're a sailor now.
They got you, boy. You know what I'm saying? This is how we do it on the street. Come on, baby. Just let me get the tip in. Just the tip. I swear. I promise. I love you forever. That's it. That's how they did their jobs.
Yeah, for sure. And so when they got me, I was like, you know what? I could do this. I could do this. My uncle did it. My little brother's gonna be doing it. Let's do this. So I signed up. They got me. I cried because I was like an 18-year-old kid. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. Where's my mom? This is my first time out the house. Like, I'm scared,
Wow. But it was too late. Yeah, now. And then you had you went through the whole process, ASVAB and all that. Like,
correct.
And then you got that I guess that status where they let you kind of go in. So when you went to basic training, bro, like for you guys call it boot camp, right?
We called it basic training.
It's basic training. So, I mean, walking into that, bro, what were you thinking?
Man, oh my God. Again, I was still tearing up. Like, I don't even know how my eyes even like made so much tears. But when I walked into boot camp, they were yelling at us. I didn't have any like personal items. So they were like saying, if you have any personal items, you got to put them in this box, right? I remember that. And they would have to ship it back home. Right. So like if you brought your cell phone, your wallet, all this stuff, they would ship it back home. I didn't have anything. So I was just sitting like looking around like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, I don't need to go to these boxes. I don't have anything. So they yelled at me for not having anything. Like, I was like, why are you guys yelling at me for? Right. They're like, obviously they thought that I was supposed to. I know it's like a mind game, Like if I'm not supposed to be doing something, you're supposed to be doing. Like you should automatically know what you should be doing. I had no idea. So they would like. I remember when we were like, I don't know if they did the same thing for you, but when we were there, we had like change clothes. We had to. We had, obviously they would have to give us like new gear to get into, new uniforms. We would have to like do this whole process. Like it was just I don't remember honestly everything, but I do remember as far as like going there, getting yelled at the whole time because again no one knew exactly what they were supposed to be going or doing, and then just having just waiting the time to go by before we get to our racks.
Wow, yeah, because it was similar to that in the Army, a little different. It was more structured. I mean, they had a thing that was called an amnesty box when I went in. So if you had any contraband, that's what they wanted. Like if you had some weapons on you, drugs, whatever, you put it in the box. Brother Jason's in the house, man. Thanks for coming through, man. You're a real one, always coming through. We got brother William Stewart's in the house, Fresh&Fit Dallas. What up, Bolos? One of your people sounds like, bro. And Candace was saying, yeah, got to hit them numbers with reference to the recruiters. Yeah, they definitely got to hit them numbers. And So for us, you know, they were like, okay, you got off the bus, you were getting screamed at, just like in all the movies. Um, you know, you went through that process. They got you all, you know, sorted out. They told you about the amnesty box, and then you know was on to getting your gear and all that kind of stuff. And it was, you know, push-ups all the time. You're getting screamed. It's just complete chaos, which is part of the process, man. People have seen that in movies and seen it in documentaries. That really happens. I don't know how intense it is today. I went through in 1990. They could do everything but hit you. They couldn't legally hit you
Mhm.
legally. So what they would do is they would make it to where the rest of your platoon would want to hit you. You keep screwing up, your platoon is going to sort you out. And they would do that. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, oh, who you think you are? Oh, you're Bolo, huh? You tough, huh? You keep messing up.
Everybody can push up but him, and you get to watch everyone else suffer.
To watch everybody suffer. Sit there and
Mhm.
watch. You get to count them out. Yeah, go ahead and count them out. Oh, don't skip. Did you skip one? Start over from the beginning. It's like, oh man. So it was like that for us. But yeah, I wouldn't trade it. It was fun. Nigerian Flex was good. What up, fam? Fresh Fit Dallas. Let's go. Yes, yes. Y'all done made a mark, bro. Y'all got to make it happen, man. Y'all don't have other teams jumping up. You know what I mean? Trying to take y'all title because y'all got the title right now. So yeah, bro. So all right, and then so you got in, you went through basic training. What was the toughest part of naval basic training, man?
Well, that would be subjective. Obviously, some for me, man. Again, it was probably just not having a family behind me as far as my mom and dad, you know, my little brother. Obviously, when you're 18, 19 years old, and you have like these strangers yelling at you, this is a new concept, you know? Like I've never had anybody yell at me before other than my parents.
Right.
I've never gotten into fights really, but of course I've always, you know, now I'm dealing with like random, like people from different parts of the country. I'm dealing with people that probably never seen an Asian before because they lived in Nebraska or Iowa, and they're like, you know, I probably, you know, just not having, I guess, people that I can rely on, right? So like maybe for me at the time would probably be like that's not getting letters from home really to have that morale boost. My mom said that she said she wrote me, but she delivered to the wrong address, and she did because I saw the return letters. I was like, oh man, I guess she written the address wrong, and it really hurt me because like during the whole time I never received one letter.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Letters kept us going. Like I said, that was before social media.
Mm-hmm.
When mail call came around, bro, if you didn't get a letter, man, you see the toughest dudes about ready to cry because mommy didn't send them a letter, didn't send them a care package.
Yep.
That was tough to deal with. And it was a lot of that. You're right. People were sending it to the wrong address because the military address system, I mean, it was like 5 lines.
Yeah, correct.
You know what I mean? And if you messed up any of that, you know, it wound up at another Bravo company at some other fort somewhere.
Yeah, they're not gonna track down this one person out of like thousands of people, you know? They'll just be like, we don't know who this is, we'll just send it back. That's the easiest way.
Just send it back, like do it over, check your address.
Mhm.
But yeah, okay. So did you guys go through any, like I remember for the Army, there were 2 things. Like the first like ruck march. The first time you had to go do this part of your training, you put on all your gear and you had to go hump, you know, and that was, you know, part of training. I think that was probably the toughest thing I went through because, you know, you get all the chafing, the blisters on your feet and all that. I mean, you really push your body to the limit. It was that and the gas chamber. Those were the 2 things that, like, bro, that was not a fun day. That was not a fun day, bro.
I remember the gas chamber. That was rough.
Yeah, and they really take you through it in the Army. Like, they make you stay in there. You know, remove your mask. They make you say your name. They say your social security number.
Yep.
They force you to stay in there and make sure you get some good deep breaths, and then all that CS gas to get into your eyes and into your pores. And boy, oh boy, I did not enjoy that. I'm just gonna put it to you like that. So, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know if you can see that.
I do, yes, sir.
Yeah, like Navy opens investigation after 4 deaths by self-deletion among aircraft crew. And I mean, we're not gonna read the whole thing, but this was becoming a problem. And did you notice any of that when you finally got through all your training and you finally, you made it to your ship? That was that a big thing?
Not. I Okay, so I guess not. It wasn't a thing for us. We didn't really have people go AWOL. We didn't have people self delete themselves. We didn't have any of that problems. Only because I feel like it was probably during the time of where we was at that time, right? As far as like going to war, and stuff like just having some pride. So maybe that was the reason why a lot of people didn't really like think about this, like as far as like self deletion and missing work and stuff. I mean, I think there were times where people like missed. If we had to do like an exercise or whatever, they probably missed that because they probably overslept or got drunk,
Right,
But as far as like people like intentionally going AWOL and self deletion, like we really didn't have that problem during my time.
Yeah, and that wasn't a big thing for us either, especially in the '90s. That was Desert Storm era. I don't recall any stories of anyone self deleting. And as far as I remember some people who went AWOL because they went home for the weekend. And like you said, overslept or something, they got back late. Like if you're a minute late, you're AWOL. So
For sure.
AWOL,
Yep.
AWOL is just absent without leave. That's all that is. Yeah, you can get in a little bit of trouble for it, but they're not going to stand you up against the wall for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But desertion was something different, and that wasn't big. Now, when my father was in during the Vietnam era, he was an MP, and part of his duties they would send him to these small towns across America and drag these soldiers back, because they were trying to desert. But you got to remember that was also during the draft era and all that. But
okay.
These guys, so he would tell me stories of how they would go into the house and find these guys hiding in the closet, hiding under their mom's bed, stuff like that. They just drag them back and take them wherever they're going. And so I never saw anything like that at all. At all. So, and I got ahead of myself when I pulled up that CNN article. We'll revisit that, but it's something I wanted to show you that I found right before we started, and we're gonna, if you don't mind, man, we'll go through this and review it. It's from the defense video archive. It's U.S. Navy Boot Camp 2022. So now we can see it, and you can tell me what's going on with boot camp, and if it's how you remember it or not. Let me see. Let me pull this up on full screen. There it goes. So we're gonna watch this, bro. And if you at any point you want me to stop, let me know. I'll stop so we can comment, and I'll be doing that as well, because I saw some stuff already that I want to talk to you about that I thought was funny. So I'm just gonna pull down the let me take this off, and okay, we go back to this. All right, here we go. We're gonna play this, bro. Right off rip, they need new music. Y'all need new music. And did you have to wear a hat that said recruit on it?
We did. We had to earn a Navy hat.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Recruit Training Command Great
Can you hear that?
is a unit
I can, yes, sir.
United States Navy primarily responsible for conducting the initial orientation and indoctrination of incoming recruits. It is part of Naval Service Training.
You guys
Command
only have one
and
place.
is
You all have to go to
located at
Illinois?
Naval Station Great
We
Lakes,
did, yes,
Illinois.
correct. Great Lakes.
Great Lake, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, y'all look how cute walking in. Orderly, look at that.
Recruit Training Command is primarily responsible for conducting the initial Navy orientation.
Do you remember
and
this
training
part?
of new
What's this?
recruits.
I don't remember
is
this.
commonly referred to as boot
This is one of the part where they yelled at me.
training.
Yeah, I didn't have anything.
Yeah, it don't look like they're yelling anymore, man. It's all real calm.
What's going on here?
Yeah, bro, it looks real calm. Why are they looking down? They make you look down and check your shoes or something?
In
I don't remember this.
Recruit Training Command Great Lakes became the Navy's only
At this point, they were yelling.
better known as boot camp.
Well, there's the
Recruit
box we were
training
talking about,
involves
looks
a
like.
change in the mental and physical capacity of the new recruit.
I remember this part.
From the
Get your haircut.
RTC
Yeah.
graduation,
Smiling, I'm over here crying.
the bus to depart. Recruits find themselves in a whirl of activity. Every
I would
recruit
imagine you
entering the
wouldn't get
Navy
into this
today
sort of
will
training
remember
until after.
RTC
I
as
mean, it
their
took you a day or so to
introduction
get your
Navy life.
uniforms and stuff, right?
We had different uniforms. These are actually cooler than what we had. We had, I think we were called dungarees.
Okay.
It was like a button-up shirt.
This dude right here looks fat, man. We in the Army, especially the Airborne Army, you didn't walk anywhere, bro. They called it an airborne shuffle. It wasn't quite a run. It wasn't quite a walk. It was like right in the middle.
You have to run everywhere in the Navy. You had to run everywhere.
Okay, because we did too, but these guys aren't. Does he have a sword?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's a Cavalier. I'm not too sure exactly what they're called, but yeah, this will be one that leads the march.
Yeah, they wouldn't trust us with anything sharp in basic training until we got BNX. They ain't trust us with nothing sharp. We couldn't even cut somebody. Man, y'all having way too much fun. I guess you can't forget your recruit. You got the hat on. Yeah, bro. We gotta teach y'all how to sing cadence, bro. So this is the part when you got off the bus, you had to run in, and then this is graduation. It looks like.
This is going to graduate right here in the blues.
Y'all ran inside. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we for our PT test. We got to run inside.
Oh, that's nice. That's so cute.
Making it sound like it's a cupcake ride.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Careers at the command.
And this is how they toss your rack, right? This is how they do it.
Oh yeah, it was a lot more. What's it called? More aggressive during my time. They would, if anything was out of place, they would like literally rip it apart, take all your things out from it within the rack because you know how those things go up, and just throw it and make everyone do it all over again.
Like, bro, in the Army, your shit would be halfway down the bay floor, out the door, going down the stairs. You see that shit when you're coming back to the building, like, uh-oh, hope that's not mine. Now, this looks intense. Like, yeah, in basic training, this was part of basic training, is learning how to fight fires.
No, they actually taught this more when we're on the. I don't actually remember this when they taught how to shoot fires. But when the strip, they definitely taught us how to do so.
And this shit right here, bro. Like right here. This shit, he's gonna use magnets.
There's a live ammo.
There's just like they're on the range, there's live ammo. Here's the deal. You don't put a magazine there. There's gonna be a lot of movement. Like we in the Army, we stay on our stomachs, bro. We're moving. There's a lot of jumping up and down. This will fall off. I don't care what kind of magnet that is. This will fall off. So I don't know. I guess the training that they're doing here, I guess the scenarios that you're pretty much on a ship where you know there's not going to be a lot of moving around. I don't understand that part. That's not something I would train. Look at that. That's going to fall off. Get double hearing protection. We were lucky to get hearing protection at all. They issue it to you on day one. By the time you get to the range, 3 weeks later, you don't know where your hearing protection is.
They just gave us plugs on her and the 3M plugs.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah. And then, like
RTC Great Lakes.
Those are Berettas.
Only basic training location.
Yeah, it looks like Berettas. 9mm
of the Navy. Today, approximately 38,000.
That's what I did on the boat. That was my job for the first 3 years.
From RTC and begin
with the
their
ropes.
Navy careers.
No, correct.
I ain't gonna lie to you, this looks hardcore, man. You running into, a room full of fire. That's I gotta get to you. I can't joke on that. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, look at that. They're about to run in there. That's real fire, bro. Now this part here. This looks like class, man, like high school. Look, everybody sitting Indian style. We wouldn't be sitting down. We're up at parade rest or attention the whole time.
Yeah, we weren't sitting on the floors either.
And then like the medical personnel, they wouldn't say shit. Drill sergeants would be talking to us. And it wouldn't be nice stuff neither. It wouldn't be like, okay, let's look out for your buddy. No, it's just some hardcore. If you pass out, you have fucked up. You are not allowed to pass out without orders. This shit that it would say to us. And we're like in our minds thinking like, don't pass out. Like, dude, they're pumping you full of drugs. You might pass out.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the rest
of
us
got shots in their life? Right. They don't know how to handle needles. They don't know how to get their blood drawn.
Exactly. So, but it was, and that was the only time they couldn't make us do push-ups is after we got those shots. They had to monitor us for a while. But it was, I don't know if it was 10, 15, it might have been the hour, whatever it was. But whenever that time limit was up, it was back to pushing, man. We were down doing push. They were trying to make us pass out, bro. It was like, the Army didn't play, man. They wanted to see you, they will drag you off to the next thing. And we rarely had times when people weren't screaming at us. It was this all the time.
They are formed
It was
into
this.
divisions
Yeah.
and 3 recruit division commanders. During the first week, known as in processing
I remember
days,
that, going
forms
through
are
getting our
filled out,
gear.
medical and dental exams given, inoculations administered, and haircuts received.
This was all within the first
During
72
their
hours in the Army
7-week
when I
stay
went
at
through.
RTC, the RDCs
And then we kept our
worked
uniforms
together
on.
to
We had
mold the new
BDUs.
recruits
Now,
into
here's the
sailors.
thing that got me on this.
RDCs are chief petty, new recruits into sailors.
The
RDCs are chief petty officers. RDCs
these
work
uniforms don't match. This shit right here.
Yeah, that's weird because she's wearing tan and they're wearing black.
That is a no-go, bro. That is a no-go. And you know, it was one of those things where at least everyone has their sleeves bloused up. You know, it had to be up or down. You couldn't, if one person had them down, then everybody had to take them down. But this right here, you come out with the wrong color boots on,
That's weird.
be hell to pay, man. Be hell to pay.
together to mold the new recruits into sailors. RDCs are chief
And then,
petty officers or senior petty
what is
officers
this?
specially selected for their leadership and teaching
Did most of y'all
abilities.
training occur
They must
within your
represent
barracks?
and teach
Because
naval
We did,
it was cold.
correct.
Okay.
customs and discipline.
Well, there were times where we had to go to classrooms, but I would say half the time we stayed in our barracks.
And here it is, gas chamber for you guys. They got their hands out, man. We'd be throwing up all over the
Don't
place.
puke, don't puke.
We throwing up all over the place, like, bro, we were in there. They made you shave before you went in there, so just
Recruit
all this
training
is
not
steaming.
an endeavor to be taken lightly. The
And here's your
workload is
PT
heavy
test,
and
looks
the
like.
recruits must adjust to a completely new way of life.
We were
Classroom
always
and skills
outside, bro. When
instruction by
we're
the
out there doing
RDC
push-ups,
gives recruits
sit-ups,
information on how to
right? We're
adjust
out
and
there. We were in
succeed within the
Alabama,
Navy.
man. We had those fire
In
ants just
addition to
tearing us
classroom
up, bro. We was just
instruction,
down there pushing the
recruits
ants and
spend
just
time
eating
learning
away
the
at you.
fundamentals of small arms marksmanship.
We never went
seamanship,
inside.
Water survival, line handling, and firefighting. Long days and
Look at, oh my God, look at jackets.
free time.
Yeah,
They
bro.
don't make us in the Navy. They don't make it like when I was doing. They didn't like, yo, it's either sink or swim. You know what I mean?
That's
No
a
jackets for anybody.
I mean, that's motivation. You want to live? You better
Yeah.
live.
Luckily, they had SEALs around, or they had like lifeguards, or you know, what you want to call them. But nobody luckily sank. But they got jackets. It's insane.
That's crazy, bro. If you're gonna join the Navy and not know how to swim, you need to rethink your life choices. And they spend a lot of time on this fire thing, which I imagine the fire has to be the most dangerous thing to a ship.
Damage control is everyone's job. That's what you're saying was.
All right, yeah, they seem to teach you how to fight these fires. That's cool, especially with these tanks. And this is what just how to work the ropes.
Yeah, that's when a ship comes shore, comes back home, we would have to throw lines so it would go on the. I
During
forgot what they're
the
called.
training week,
It's been so long.
divisions enter into the competitive
Yeah, you
aspects
just
of
tie those
training.
off.
Excellence in academic achievement, military
that's-
drill.
yeah, I
cleanliness,
wouldn't have
and
liked all
athletics
that, man.
all
That's-
count
that's-
toward earning recognition.
I enjoy
flags.
being in the middle of
The
nowhere,
competition
crawling
encourages
around, sneaking
teamwork
up on
and
people.
develops
I
pride
enjoyed
in
that part.
achievement. The
This
climax
is way
of the
too much time
competitive
indoors.
series is the pass and review practice where the best divisions can earn Battle E, CNO, or Hall of Fame honors.
We had that too. Top troops and all that kind of stuff. Top soldiers and like, you know, basic training. Yeah, we'd have been spraying each other with the hoses. They didn't trust us with stuff like that, bro.
Just a water fight.
Just big water fight right there. Ship would have burned down. We're having fun.
Battle Stations 21. This 12-hour event.
There's no way you could have. And there it is. You get your Navy hat.
Yeah, we got Navy hats.
Can't have you forget who you with. Just look at your hat. Like, oh,
The
Navy.
symbolic change of hats indicates their status as sailors in the world's finest Navy.
That's cool though, man. And they
During
got proper
graduate boot camp.
uniforms.
That's what we
These
can
are
call
uniforms.
sailors.
These are uniforms you wear on the ship. These blues.
Yep.
Okay.
They're like onesies or yeah. Coveralls. That's what they're called. Coveralls.
Man, that's cool, bro.
Those I think were the best uniforms, honestly. You know.
Like, that's crazy. We got my man Jay Swans. Was good, brother. Now we sitting here, man. We talking Navy stuff, man. Joe Crack, what's good, bro? Welcome more Fresh and Fit Dallas in the house. So back to that other story, bro, because that looks like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, that basic training looks fun. I mean, you had to do stuff, you had to get involved in the process. You had to earn your way up. You know what I mean? Did you guys make rank while in basic training? Was it possible to go from E1 to E2 or something like that while in basic, or no?
Well, so I was actually blessed because they picked me. They picked 5 people to get events, like a collective vote, which they're like saying they were like saying, hey, we get to pick 5 people to advance from E1 to E2. So luckily I got voted for one person to do so. I guess because I was just like a go getter, and they saw that I didn't really have a support system, and I still pushed it through. They're like, man, this guy's a machine. So luckily I was one of them. The other, you got other ways to get voted in by like doing like various jobs, as far as like being a mailman, being a section leader, stuff like that.
All right. So you were able to make some rank. That's cool, because in the Army, people would take turns in leadership roles. It wasn't a permanent rank promotion. It was, okay, you're squad leader, you're platoon leader. I think we call them platoon guys or whatever, but basically everyone got an opportunity to lead. And, you got to see firsthand what it was like to be in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn right then, if something went wrong, if one of the knuckleheads in your platoon and your squad did something wrong, it was your fault for not squaring that soldier away beforehand. And that in the Army, like, leadership is key, and it begins in basic training. So everyone takes turns, and they normally do it kind of the way you were saying. They get the biggest, the strongest guys first.
Yes,
to get them in there, because those are the ones who can pretty much keep everybody in line. Like I said, you come up, you're not allowed to hit people officially, but unofficially, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And then you went off. So when you guys finished basic training, did you go off to advanced training, or they send you to a ship? How did that work?
So obviously it would be on the jobs that you were assigned at that time. So you would have to go. Some people would go off to A school. For me, my A school, the advanced training was still in Great Lakes, so I didn't really have to go anywhere. But after that, yeah, that's pretty much after boot camp. You would just go straight to your A school.
Yeah, in the Army they call it AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training. So you go through basic training, and then my advanced school AIT was for an air traffic controller. So at the time it was 93 Charlie. I don't know what they call it now. It's a different number. But that was, so I went from Fort Dix, New Jersey, to Fort Rucker, Alabama, for that training. And then once I finished there, I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, for airborne school, which is why I joined the Army in the first place. It was all in my contract. Now, the one thing that I do give the Army credit for when it comes to the recruitment process, you are guaranteed training in your contract. You are guaranteed what the recruiter sold you on. But I understand in Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps, it doesn't work that way. You're not guaranteed any training.
No, guaranteed is it's a tough word, unless it's not on paper, then nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, it was in paper. We had it in writing. Okay. It was in our contract. When we enlisted, I was guaranteed to go to basic training. Once I successfully completed that, I would go to my advanced training, which was, 93 Charlie Air Traffic Control. And then if I completed that successfully, I was going to airborne school. Now, if I screwed up along the way, like if I messed up in basic or I messed up in AIT, then the airborne thing would have been off the table. And then they could have sent me anywhere. I could have been a trucker. I could have been a mechanic. I could have been an infantryman. They would have placed me wherever they needed me. But at least you had that initially. You had that guarantee in paper. In writing.
Is airborne, can anybody be airborne no matter what job it is?
Yes. Airborne.
Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
Anyway, so you can, there were guys in my unit, truck drivers, radio operators, there were cooks. You know what I mean? I was an air traffic controller, infantry, of course. We're all airborne. See, the way it works, the way it used to work, I don't know how it works now. But an airborne unit, in theory, that entire unit, that company, that brigade, that battalion, all of them, in theory, can be put on airplanes and dropped anywhere on the planet. So your admin guys, they got to go. So they got to be airborne. Your mechanics, they got to be airborne. Everyone who's in that unit, whatever that job is, they need to be airborne. Now that has changed over the years. But in theory, that's how it works. Because they can take all of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, right, and all the
all airborne.
units, all airborne, and drop them within shit, within 18 to 28 hours, they can have them anywhere on the planet. So yeah, bro, like we would wake up in Fort Bragg and go to sleep on the other side of the planet. Sometimes you just don't know, like shit. Yeah, you get on the bird, it's like, man, we've been on this airplane a long time. Where we going? and you never knew if, because you didn't know if it was training or real world until you got to Pope Air Force Base, which is the Air Force guys would, that's Pope Air Force Base and Bragg are right there co-located. So that's where we went for the Air Force guys to load us up and take us wherever. And we had a thing down there where, we have our parachutes and our equipment out and stuff like that. We got to go through this process. When it was real world, you would get there and they would have all these weapons and munitions out there. The old guys called it smorgasbord. And that's how you knew, like, oh shit, this is real. So you start immediately taking out all the stuff that you don't need, all the extra bullshit, and start putting in extra bombs, extra bullets, extra band-aids, like hand grenades, ammunition, claymores, stuff like that. You didn't worry so much about your medical stuff because the medics, they're jumping in with you, would have all that stuff. So we would, we just, hey man, screw that, man. We need this, we need that. And I never saw that. But the old soldiers used to talk about it all the time. They were like, yeah, man, Panama was like that, Grenada was like that. So we would get on the plane and you just didn't know. And sometimes they'll put you on the bird and drop you somewhere and you like, yo, where are we? And then they'll come and gear you up. Like, oh, this is what's going on. It's a real world mission now. We're doing this, that, and the third. So in the Navy, I mean, I guess you guys would just, if you were on board the ship, the captain would just tell you where you're going. How would that work?
Yeah, that's okay. So usually when we go to when we take deployments, they would give us an itinerary of where we're supposed to be going. But anything can change midday. Anything can change in the middle of the 6 months to the year that you're out. We were supposed to go to Korea at one point, and I was really hyped about it. And 5 minutes into deployment, they're like, "Yeah, we're not going there anymore." I was just like, "Dude, we just left." I was just, we left San Diego 5 minutes ago. Everyone's telling me that we're going to Korea, and then he goes over the intercom, the one MC. He's like, "Yo, we're not going there anymore." So I was like, "Dang, what happened?"
Did you ever make it to Korea at any point?
No, never.
I did.
Never got there.
Hey man, Youngsong, man, South Korea, that was a good rotation. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was fun, bro. And it's changed a lot now. I went back when was that? Maybe 2016, 2017, I went back. And where we were stationed used to be hood. Now it's like gentrified. It's all, ritzy and bootsy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bougie. And I'm walking around like, oh yeah, it didn't look like this when I was here. You know what I mean? But that was a good tour. Like we had a good time in Korea. Boy, they had these things called TNTs, these little local drinks they would make. They would take a 2-liter bottle, cut the top off, and it was like soju and juices and some other alcohol, bro. You talk about going blind drunk, man. Look, that TNT was no joke, man. Anybody who was over there in 1993 know what I'm talking about.
we got to go to Hong Kong, actually. Yeah. I thought at first we were like, oh, I'm gonna go to Hong Kong, I obviously didn't know world outside of mine. But so Hong Kong's crazy, right? Just think of think about partying with millionaires that have tons of money and all they want to do is drink and party all night long. That's Hong Kong.
Yeah, it sounds like Miami.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sounds like Miami. Yeah,
sounds like Miami, bro.
Just buying drinks and buying out the bar, buying out the club, and yeah, I was I don't think I was 21 at the time because you can drink when you're 18 over there.
Man,
and yeah.
So what? Did you get any combat deployments?
Oh, 2. We went to the Middle East twice. Luckily, we didn't have to fire around. We did obviously exercise training while we were out there. Just, I guess, to show our military presence, obviously that's that's why we're out to sea in the first place. We did fire off rounds into the ocean. I don't know if they were live or dummy, but we were in that area. So, but luckily we didn't have to fire off any missiles or stuff like that.
All right, because is that the primary mission of the destroyers? I mean, I guess you hunt submarines. Do they still hunt submarines? Destroyers? Well,
as far as I know, I mean, that's probably on a need to know basis for the people that are, higher pay grade than me. But from my understanding, is that for destroyers, we were just out there just to show the world that we're out there. You know, like if you guys want to do something crazy, like there's destroyers in the area, we will get you. You know, and as far as like the destroyers do have the capability of finding submarines. But I don't know if we're able to like out combat one of those, but I know that we're able to at least maybe kind of stand toe to toe with them.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's difficult, like, because I was talking to a guy who was a submarine. He was a submariner, and he was like, "Well, there are only two types of vessels." And I'm like, "Yeah, what is that?" He was like, "There's submarines and targets." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Those guys are just lurking under the water forever."
Mhm.
Act Oz is in the house. What's good, brother? We're sitting here with JR, man. We just talking Navy right now, man. So I know when the Gulf War started, I want to say it was destroyers and missile frigates that fired the cruise missiles that opened up that war. And again, I'm real foggy on like the mission of the Navy and their capabilities, but we saw that on CNN. Like you see the Tomahawks coming off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know the different systems they have for air defense, which is pretty cool. Man, so when you guys did those tours, you stayed on the ship. You never went shore side for anything?
Well, we get to go to like places as far as like India. I've been to India. We get to do that. We get to, but obviously like the dangerous areas, we didn't really go in there. But we did hit up the Panama Canal. So
shit, that's what's up.
Shout out to Colombians out there. We did hit up. Let's see here. I did go to Singapore like countless times. India. What was another one? Oh, Australia.
Ooh.
Let's see here. But I don't. Yeah. Everything else is just, it's so funny because like you don't have to be 21 to drink at either one of these, so it's like hard for me to remember exactly where I've gone. But yeah, I mean, it's easy to fall in love out there too, because the women out there are just different from women out here.
Oh, bro, I can't tell you how many times I fell in love in all parts of the world, bro.
Yeah,
we were in Bahrain, and they sent us there for R&R doing that rotation for Desert Storm, and they had these ships they didn't go out. They were cruise ships that were just sent there for the soldiers to kind of go and relax, and they sent me there. And they had this German woman on board who was so beautiful. Her job was just to smile at guys. They paid her to come hang out on this ship,
yeah,
walk around and talk and smile at guys. Man, it's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. She was German with this cool little accent, although the German language isn't known for being a soft language.
Seductive.
Yeah, it ain't seductive.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? Was is los? I'm like, oh my God. Achtung. I'm like, hey, but man, oh man, even with that accent, she was fine. And the same thing happened in Spain. Same thing happened when we went through Germany. We went through Frankfurt, and of course in Korea. Oh my God, I fell so hard. And then Act Ozzy is saying this discussion reminds me of middle school basketball tryouts and 20 minutes diving for loose balls. Yeah, bro, it's a little more intense than that, but I ain't gonna lie to you. It was the Navy did a little different than the Army, and the Marine Corps definitely does it different than the Air Force and the Navy. And he's like, I'm too soft for that lifestyle. Hey, bro, you'd be surprised at how hardcore you can be when the time comes. So yeah, bro. So why do you think that they're having trouble with these self-deletions and desertions now in the Navy?
Okay, so I've actually thought about this not too long ago, and okay, so I don't know if this is like true stats as far as like as it being on paper, but I know that as far as being married is probably a huge one of them, right? Probably being married and having your wife run off with your shipmate or a local probably is causing some of these sailors to like lose their minds, self-deletions or like desertion. I guess maybe it's because they're just too soft, honestly.
I was going to ask you that, bro, because it doesn't seem like the training has gotten tougher from what we witnessed here on this video. It was 2022. You know what I mean? Because it sounded like you had a rougher time when you were in.
Yeah, nobody deserted themselves or went AWOL or anything like that. But as far as like, they probably think it's like, oh, this is just free willy-nilly stuff. Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble. I've never been yelled at, you know, whatever. Nothing bad's gonna happen to me. You know, that's probably the reason why, like, these people are just, you know, just doing what they want because they feel like nothing bad can happen to them.
Okay, because I was thinking that too, because it just doesn't seem that the Navy has got. It's not like they went back to 1940s Navy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, post Pearl Harbor Navy. They didn't do that. And I think you're right. I think there's so many kids who have their parents take care of everything. They bulldoze the bulldozer parents. They bulldoze all the problems out of the way. The kids grow up and they make a grown up decision. I'm going to join the military. They join the military, get in there. Like, I don't like it. I want to go home. It's like, nah, we own you now.
Yeah,
like, you are.
It is your life to us.
Yes. And we intend to keep, you know, we gonna keep you for the 4 years or however long you enlisted for. And maybe it's that, because even in the Army, I've been hearing stories not as intense as what's going on, it seems, in the Navy, but guys are and women are getting upset. I know for female soldiers, they don't like it, so they just get pregnant and then bam, they're out.
Yep, they're out. They can't go to deployments. They have to go shore duty jobs. They sit behind desks until their time is out. I've heard stories where, like, if a woman gets pregnant and she doesn't have like a care holder for the child, they have to kick her out because she can't just send her kid off to like some random people. You know, they need someone to take care of the kid. So they'll be like, hey, listen, we get it that you got pregnant. And you don't have a name next to the person who's gonna take care of your kid if you ever go on deployment, so we have to kick you out. And I guess women are okay with that, which blows my mind.
I mean, if you don't like it, that's an easy out. Candace M., my husband said they spent more time folding laundry and making their beds correctly than hard physical labor in boot camp. Wow, what? That's crazy, because we spend all our time in the field. I ain't gonna lie to you. And when we were in the barracks, it was man, we were pushing, we were doing push-ups, we were doing sit-ups.
Yeah.
The dying cockroach, like, we were running around everywhere. It was crazy. And Candace says lots of pregnancies in the Navy.
Make sure those dog tags dance on the floor, you know.
Oh, bro, if that was part, if they came out, if your ID tags came out while you were doing that, that just bought you like 24, maybe 55 more push-ups. You know what I mean? You're out of uniform now. They're private. You know.
Yeah, you still keep them in. Yeah.
Oh my good. And then in airborne school, we took them off. We couldn't have them around our neck. We wrapped them around our belt and shoved them into our cargo pocket. Because, I mean, you're airborne. You don't want to take any chance of anything getting caught.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Not that it would do anything to you. It would snap right away, but it'll leave a nasty little mark. So, I mean, that's how we did it. That's part of, a little bit of airborne life. Man, so I wonder how would you combat that, bro? If you were in command, right? If you're one of the, senior NCOs, how would you handle these young sailors?
Oh, it'd be a wrap. I'm weeding out the weak. I'm bringing them back old school. You know, I'm not talking about smoke room, back room, beat downs. I'm not talking about that. Again, I'll do everything to a point where not like physically touch them as far as, fighting them. But I would bring back old school, just, if you want to act out of line, we about to, gets down as far as like, just straight natural selection, just weeding out the weak. We don't need weak-minded people. What was this dishonorable discharge? Good luck out in the real world if you can't handle it here.
Like, you're all about that. It's like, no,
I'm all about that. I'm tired. Listen, I know that we've been kind of, we've been discussing this, but now you got it out of me. As far as like,
let's get to it.
As far as I see like the future on how, like the video you just showed me, and what I've been through and what I've seen before in the past. Like, something needs to change as far as bringing back old school beatdowns between the recruits. Like, hey man, you're messing this up for everybody else. Or just kicking them out. Just if you kick, like Frank castled them, right?
Yes.
Myron speaks about this. Every time they kick out one person, everyone else gets in line.
Yes.
So if you just like weeding out the weak, people are like, yo, I need like the reason why I went because I needed it. I had nowhere else to go as far as like a career field. I was dumb as rocks. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't handle a job. You know, I was just like, I have nowhere else to go. So I need this more than anything in life to survive. And they gave me a place to sleep, 3 square meals a day. They told me what to read. They told me when to go to sleep, when to wake up. It was like it was literally a brainless job to do what they were saying. And people still can't do it because everyone feels like they're entitled to their own thinking when you get, when you get paid to do what you're being told.
Yes, and I would agree with you. In the Army, and maybe not as much. Well, it's probably just as much in the Navy. In the military, you need the people to your left and right to be on board.
Correct.
You guys have to be part of the same units. You have to be on board. We have to be reading from the same sheet of music because when the bullets start flying, when you go down range, I have to be able to count on you. It is your job to keep me alive. It's my job to keep you alive, and we will get our mission accomplished. Now, you have men and women who get into the Army like, well, I just joined for college money, or I just joined because my parents said I had to do something, and they're going to give me $1 million when I get out. I'm just checking the boxes. No, you can't be here. You cannot be in this military. But that seems to be the case now. You can't yell at anybody. You can't touch anybody. Like one of my favorite movies, man, is Full Metal Jacket. That basic training scene, that sequence in Full Metal Jacket, that is how it should be in the United States military everywhere.
We not the weak people. You know what I mean? I get it. You're here for a paycheck on the 1st and the 15th. I get it. I get that you do want to go to college after all this is done. Totally get it. But at the end of the day, my life is in your hands and your life is in my hands. If things actually go down, like I don't care about like you being like you join the military because you want to become a TikTok star. Like you're in the wrong place. Like do this at home.
Yes. Yes. And that'll be your last TikTok video. That'll be us giving you a blanket party. We'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
And send you home.
The fact that they're able to have like I heard stories that they're able to have like cell phones in boot camp now. Like they just lock them away or something until they give them out on Sundays.
Yes, that's insane. And my brother Jay Swan's "We Cats Need Not Apply." That was us. Like airborne guys. There were guys who went airborne and got into airborne units. Now here's the thing: there were some dudes who just wind up in that unit and they're not airborne. They don't go to airborne school. They haven't earned wings. They don't want them. That's fine, right? But for those of us who did, it's like you got to wrap your head around that job. Like your mission as a paratrooper is to be dropped right behind enemy lines, which means wherever you go, you're surrounded. Wherever you go, and there's a line in Band of Brothers when they were going into Bastogne, and these guys were coming out and they're like, "Don't go in there, you'll be surrounded." And the guy's like, "Man, we're paratroopers. We're supposed to be surrounded." That's the mentality that we have. We all bought into it. A lot of it. That doesn't mean we weren't scared. But I tell you what, I didn't show my fear. I was talking the most shit. Ask my buddy Jay Swans. We were talking mad craziness. It didn't matter. But inside it, but I knew that wherever we did, we were trained and we were ready. And like I said, I'm coming. I'm not gonna let my buddies fall. Right? I'm not gonna go home and explain to their parents why I'm still breathing and they're not. And we all had that attitude. So I agree with you, bro. We need to bring a little more of that hardcore, that heavy hand back to the military, man, because this stuff, this soft, toxic, everything's toxic thing needs to go. For people to look at the military and be like, oh, they're so toxic. Like they're supposed to be. Their job is to kill people.
Toxicity is the reason why we're still up today. Honestly, the word feelings is like why it is today. Like my feelings are hurt. Please stop yelling at me. My feelings are hurt. I don't know why you're talking to me. Like dude, I was saying, not once did I say like, oh, you're hurting my feelings in boot camp or basic training. I don't think I've even heard the word feelings once. Like in basic training at one time. I mean, like, yeah, it sucks. Like, I'm hurt. Yeah, I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt that my parents didn't write me, but that's probably as far as it went, due to like, again, like wrong address or whatever. But that's not something like I'm gonna put that on others and make them to believe that feelings are literally everything. And that's what it is today. Feelings, that I think they have stress cards now in the military, like in the Navy.
Bro, stress cards. They were just bringing out online when I was in the 90s. They were bringing. I was like, what the hell is this? A stress card?
Yeah.
Mind you, I just got home from Desert Storm. I'm like, how's this work, drill sergeant? I'm a soldier now. I'm like, so if we're in a firefight, you can just pull out your stress card and say, wait, time out. Hold on, I need to get my thoughts together. A stress card?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that shit. Yeah, that was in the 90s, bro. So I can only imagine where it is now. Brother Jason, if I was Jesus, I wouldn't be able to bless your fat ass over that obstacle. Yeah, that was from Full Metal Jacket. Like, I guess he was like getting on Private Pal. Like, get up here, Private Pal. I was like, if I want you on top of this obstacle, I guess Jesus would have to miracle your fat ass up here, which I thought was brilliant. And Brother Swan, Jay Swan's in the house. If paratroopers are surrounded, it's cool because it's a fair fight. Yeah, and like the Marine says, man, Marine Corps, like, oh, we're surrounded, great, then we can attack in any direction. That's hardcore. That's the whole shit you need in the United States military. And Jay Swans again, if you join the military, people need to understand no matter what your job is, you may be called upon to close and kill the enemy. And he is absolutely right. That's why in the Army, everybody's sent to basic training. Everyone has that baseline of knowledge when it comes to your weapon. You know your weapon. You know how to use your weapon. You know basic tactics. You know how to what to do in an ambush. You know how to set an ambush. You know how to report shit back. I mean, everybody who's in the United States Army knows these things. They've done it at least once. So, and looking at Navy training, everyone's got the same training at least once. Yeah. So if they find themselves on the ship, they know what to do. So, so I'm with you on that, bro. And it's just the society that we have today. This soft, my feeling, like what Rolo says, it's feels before reals. The real deal is this, right? What's going on in Ukraine, no matter what side of the fence you sit on, right? One day you were in your house, everything is good. It was good. The next day you were at war. That's realistic. That's how it works in the real world. That's how it works in the hood. You can wake up one day, everything is all good. The next day you can wake up and somebody's shooting up your house. That's the reality, right? So I don't understand this soft, everyone needs to be feminine into your feelings thing. I don't understand that, bro.
Oh my goodness. So I don't understand that either. Honestly, shout out to the people who believe facts over feelings. I don't care. Like every time I have a discussion with somebody about just pretty much about anything, logic does not care about your feelings. If you're very logical, you understand that there's people firing at us. There's people out there that want to kill us. That's logic, right? Like, people are trying to kill us. Your feelings is not going to stop those bullets from killing us. So we need to get that out the way, right? Now we have open doors on as America. We have open doors on like feelings are important. Feelings is the reason why that we are here today. I don't know. I still don't understand the argument. But as like I get it, man. Like having emotions, having feelings is like a human thing. Right. But just because it's a human thing doesn't mean it's going to be what matters at the end of the day.
That's a good point, though, because people, what you just said, it's a good point. Feelings are the reason we're here today in America. I disagree wholeheartedly. The reason we're here in America is because our forefathers were vicious. That's why we're here.
They don't care about feelings?
They don't give a shit. Do you think they cared about the Native Americans' feelings when they gave them blankets with smallpox? No, they didn't. No. Do you think they gave a shit about my ancestors' feelings after they plucked them out of another country, brought them here, and forced them into slavery for no, they did not. It's just one of those things. And as an American, I don't care about how you feel. Let the Canadians get out of line. Ozzy, I love you, bro. But if y'all get out of line up there, we coming to see you. Point blank, period. And we're bringing our guns.
The reason why feelings is dangerous is because it changes every day. Like people change emotions on a drop of a dime. Your opinions are based off of feelings at that time, right? So let's say it's something like, I feel like this is wrong. then you're like, all these people are agreeing with you. Right now you have like a mob of people who agree with you. I totally agree. Let's work on that. Now you wake up the next day after hearing the other side of point of view. You're like, maybe I'm wrong. Like my feelings has changed towards what I believed in, 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago. Now you got this group of people who aren't trying to hear you after you changed your mind. Now you got a whole spew of different emotions, clashing with each other. And it's all based off just feelings off of that time frame.
Off of that time frame, bro. Like I got, here's the thing. I did a video some days back after the horrible massacre in Uvalde, Texas, right? And my big thing was talking about those police officers who were in the hallway and they did nothing while those poor children were, forced to face their fate at the hands of some monster, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's my thing with that. People's feelings got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, look, man, I don't care where you stand. Like, I'm pro cop, blue line, all that. That's great. You know what I mean? Blue lives matter. That's great. But you cannot sit here and tell me that you condone those actions. And they refuse to accept the reality that those people were cowards. And there were a lot of things that happened that day that were wrong. They refuse to accept that because they're wrapped up in their feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, JR, I love you, man, as a guy. Right. It's accountability. I love you as a guy, but if you go out there and you do something wrong, I'm going to tell you, like, bro, you were wrong. That doesn't change the way I feel about you, but I'm going to tell you were wrong. If my brother Jay Swans goes out and does something wrong or asks me to go do something wrong, I'm like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll go beat somebody up. It's wrong. But after we finish kicking that dude's ass, I'm going to say, hey, man, Jay Swans, that was wrong, man. We didn't have to do that. Shame on us for doing it. We're going to be accountable for it. But it's still, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You cannot allow your feelings to override the facts.
Feelings blunt logic. If you use feelings to make your decisions, logic is out the window.
Yep. And then Jay Swans, I hate it when someone says I joined for the college money, and then they get upset when they're told they have to go fight. Get the fuck. With the BS college money and other benefits, what you earn after you serve. Yeah, man, that's it. I don't care why you enlisted. I don't care what branch. I believe that everyone in the United States military, in my church, I think every American, lottie-dottie, every damn body should have to enlist. I'll take it a step further. I'll make all y'all got to go to airborne school. You know what I mean? You're going to see how much you love your country when you put your life on the line for your country. And I don't care what anybody says, man. Earning those wings, those 5 jumps, man, is lethal. People have died trying to do it, right? I mean, but I think every American, just like in Israel, every American should have to serve in the United States military at least 2 years. And I believe a lot of that, these feelings and all this bullshit goes away. When everybody has to serve. When you suspend your freedoms, and that's what you're doing. You're suspending your freedoms as an American to serve America. And it sucks walking out there, picking up cigarette butts and you don't even speak. I mean, you don't even smoke, like eating a nasty chow, going out in the woods when it's cold and wet and rainy, right? Because that's what you do. It sucks going through that shit. But when it's all said and done and you're an old person on YouTube like this guy right here, you look back on it with fondness and be like, yo, I did that shit. You see that flag back there. I got another flag here from my brother Jay Swans because he's Ranger. So I got another flag that says Airborne Ranger. And whenever he's here, I put the motherfucker up. Because I just got that much more respect for him. All these Americans out here getting caught up in their feelings don't understand what it takes to keep this country. They don't, right? And, dude, I wish that should be the law. You should not be allowed to be president of the United States if you've never served in the military.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Period. All this bullshit. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no, I agree with you 100%. And you know what's so funny is that so you have 2 people that are not white talking, and I guarantee that somebody's gonna watch this video and they're gonna be like, white supremacy, these guys are all these terms that they use that has no meaning now at this point, that has just been watered down. You have 2 people right now from 2 different backgrounds that have the same idea on why America is failing as far as again, like the military and just people in general,
Yeah, I mean, we are failing. The military is made up of, there's a very small percentage of people in the military who are actual trigger pullers. There's a very small percentage of the military got men and women who've been in combat situations, who've actually gone down range, been in firefights. Man, it's a very small percentage, very small of all the people that enlisted and served. It doesn't take away from those who serve and they're just pushing papers. We're not saying that. At least they're there. And they know that they can, just like in Private Ryan, when the captain came looking, I'm looking for Upham or whoever the hell he is. Like in there, he's like, yeah.
He's a typewriter. He has a typewriter.
He's like, no, bro, you just need one of these.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've never even, I don't know. I got my weapon. Did you fire it? Yeah, I fired it in the basic training. Great. Let's go.
Good enough.
That's good enough.
What's the percentage that people who actually sign up for the military, they're able actually to get in though? I don't have the raw numbers for that one though.
No, I mean, but it is difficult to get into the military today.
Yeah,
it's harder now than it was in your generation, and it was even, and then it was easier to get into my generation than before. It used to be if you got in trouble, the judge would give you an opportunity. Join the military, you can go to jail. You know what I mean? And we used to sing that cadence. You know what I mean? Got a letter in the mail, join the army or go to jail. You know what I mean? Joey Crack, I feel like the vibes you guys are manifesting is very toxic energy. You guys must be Geminis. Hilarious. I see you, bro. Over here trolling us. I get that. That's Fresh and Fit Dallas out there. Act Ozzy. Sorry, DL. The 1% don't want their kids' limbs missing. You know what? But they need that. They need that. The 1%. That
is
would
it 1%?
be. Well, the 1%ers don't want to send their kids off to the military, but they need to. That is what. Americans keep is what make America great. That whole thing with Trump talking about let's make America great again. You really want to make America great again? Make everybody join the military. Because Trump didn't join the military, boom, Spurs. People ask me, like, how come you always so hard on Trump? Because he refused to go to Vietnam. His country called and he said no, right? He's a selfish motherfucker, period. And he has no problem sending you and your children off to go fight. You know what I mean? You want to make a sacrifice. You want to know what it is to sacrifice for your country. Send your children off to the military. My Jay Swans, my brother, sent his son, my godson, off. He's currently serving in South Korea right now. Combat engineer. He's almost perfect. I love him to death. He's a combat engineer. He's almost perfect. As soon as he goes to airborne school, he'll be perfect. Till then, I don't normally talk to non-airborne people. But that is the sacrifice we make. And when my daughter gets old enough, she wants to join the military. Absolutely. I think we should send our children out to the military so they can know what it means to serve, just like you did, JR. You went, and it gave you that time to really figure out who you are and to learn how to become a better human, how to become a better American, how to become a better man. Look at you now. Like you taking care of business, right? And if my children are in the military, if your kids, your cousins, if your family is in the military, you're going to think 5 times before you send the military off to some faraway land.
Yeah.
You're going to think before you commit our children, American children, to some conflict. You're going to make sure it's worth it. That's what you're going to do. If everyone, if the Bushes, if their kids are in the military, if, you know what I mean, the 1%, you know, the Trumps, if their kids are in the military, they're not going to be so willing to send us off to some faraway land for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
mean something, because obviously their blood is on the line.
Their blood is on the line, and that's what it is. And that's what I was saying. It was like, sorry, the 1% won't. They're not gonna do that shit. And then Jay Swans, nah, fuck that. These new cats ain't built to be paratroopers. It's an honor to be airborne that everyone doesn't deserve. It is an honor, and everyone wouldn't make it because they'll get washed the fuck out. You know what I mean? So if they do make it, they come out on the other end with their wings on. Yeah, they'll be born again hard. And Jay Swans, being airborne is not just a tap or a badge or school. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. You not only believe you're better than everyone else, you know it. That's absolute truth. Absolute facts. Absolute facts. To this day, my old ass is. I will grab my M14 right now and defend this nation.
Oh, wow. I tell this. I said the same exact thing to you, to everyone. If they called my number, like, hey, listen, I don't care how old you are. If you're able to pull the trigger, just aim. I'm doing it. And I don't know how it got to this level right now, but as far as okay, so when I get on TikTok or Instagram, people are like complaining, like, "Yo, fuck America, this place sucks." You got people like Hassan Piker, who's a piece of shit. I'll say it 15 times if I have to for him to hear it. He's a piece of shit. Everyone who believes in him is a piece of shit because we all live in a bubble, right? We live in this great nation where you literally have the freedom to say what you want. But I'm sitting here thinking, okay, say what you're saying in Russia or in China. Say fuck China while you're in China. Say fuck Russia while you're in Russia. And write me in a month. And you know what I mean? Like, let's see if you're able, you know what I mean? Like, because they'll find you in a suitcase.
Yeah. You ain't
You're
got
dead.
that
You're
for.
done.
Yeah, go to Cuba. Go to Cuba and say some shit about Castro. He's gone. Go to Cuba right now and say some foul shit about Castro. We'll never see you again.
And people are like, what was it? I seen this video online of Hassan Piker talking about like, yeah, I'm so glad that 9/11 happened. All this stuff. Like, I'm glad that they're dead Americans or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But I'm sitting there like, you're happy for what? Like your rights are about like there's a possibility that if we're invaded and we lose and now the Chinese are over here telling us that we have to become a communist country, like you're okay with that? Your hard work is going to be thrown out the window because of how you feel about the 1% or the hard workers, you know?
Yeah, that's real talk. And you're right. People hear this. This is what it takes to maintain America. Like it or not, people. We're the American warrior. We are the reason you can say this fuck shit. We are the reason you can walk around and exercise your constitutional rights because we suspended our freedoms and we swore an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We did that. I think every American should have to fucking do that for at least 2 years. So you truly understand that freedom ain't free. Joey Crack, I agree. Only former military should be president. Right now, that guy you were just talking about, if he's a U.S. citizen, right? If he's born a U.S. citizen, he could go on and start a movement, become president of the United States, and be in charge of the most powerful military the world has ever known, and he never served in it. That rubs me wrong. Mm-hmm. That's just bullshit. I loved Obama, but in my world, Obama wouldn't be president because he didn't serve. Clinton didn't serve. Trump didn't serve. You know, it was the Bushes served. You got to give it to him. All right, George W. Bush. Yeah, he didn't go to Vietnam, but he enlisted. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure his dad and family were pulling strings to get him into that guard unit, whatever they were doing. Right. All right, is what it is. But at least he enlisted. Right? So, man, screw that, man. We got to have these guys, brother, and that's what's good. How you doing? Nothing wrong not wanting to go to war. Muhammad Ali didn't want to go to Vietnam. It was bullshit.
Well, hold on. We didn't say go to war, right? We're saying just to serve your country, you know, as far as just, you know, protecting it just in general. You know, we're not saying go out there and just bomb other countries. That's not what we want. We just want to just to show that, you know, that we have to protect what we believe in.
Right. And here's the thing, too. Like, you look at Donald Trump, Muhammad Ali, and Elvis Presley. Right? All Vietnam era. Right? Donald Trump just didn't want to go because he only cares about himself. Let's keep it 100. He didn't want to go. He was like, fuck this country, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Use this money to get his deferments, whatever. Just like Dick Cheney got deferments and all that shit. It's a lot of motherfuckers who just didn't want to do it when it's time to go, right? Muhammad Ali had a valid point. As a black man from the South who went through what he went through, it didn't make sense for him to go to Vietnam and die. I understand that, but he did have his religious conviction, and that was a right protected under the Constitution. Now, Elvis Presley, same era. He joins E5. They sent him to Germany, right? So was Muhammad Ali going to go to Germany? Was they going to send Muhammad Ali off to some cool duty station somewhere so he could continue to train as champion of the world? No, they were going to send his ass off to Da Nang.
Yeah.
He was going right to Vietnam. They was going to probably send him to the A Shau Valley, and that would have been the end, you know, of one of the greatest men that ever walked the planet. So there's definitely a difference. And, you know, I'm just saying, and if you don't want to join the military, then we should have our own version of the Peace Corps where it's still hardcore, it's still tough, and we're gonna send you off to some bullshit place. No, you know what? Fuck that. You could be a medic.
Yeah.
Right? You could be a corpsman.
Yeah.
You don't have to grab a weapon. You do not have to take a weapon with you. You can go out there and you can drag bodies back and you can save lives that way. That's how you can fight your war. But you still got to join. You still got to join the military. I'm sorry, bro. That's what I would do. And then part two of Brother Ness, he said, America deserves 9/11, even if anti-imperialist, I think it was out of line. Yeah, even as an anti-imperialist, yeah. And that's to your point, the guy you was talking about, he said,
yeah. Thank you for clearing that up.
And again, I believe in freedom of speech. I would believe in it more if more Americans, if I knew all Americans had to join. I would believe in freedom of speech more because I'm like, you really earned it. I'm sorry, bro. The shit I did, I earned it. I'm sorry. I earned my right to carry my weapon, man. I earned it.
And it's so crazy to me because people actually say things like, yo, fuck America, this, that, and this. And I'm like, well, don't you have a couple $1,000 saved or you have $1,000 saved? You're more than welcome to move to any country in the world, and say the same exact thing, but nobody wants to leave. Right. Nobody wants to.
Right. I'm telling you right now, the State Department to pay for your ticket out of here. You know what I mean? If you hate America that much, you want to go somewhere, pick the fucking country. You know what I mean? If the State Department don't give you the one-way ticket, come see me. I'll pay for your ticket to get the fuck up out of here. But you can't come back. You know what I mean? Once you leave, you gotta denounce your citizenship. Then I'll buy you a ticket and you can get the fuck out. You know what I mean? We'll see how you feel about America once you're on the
side of the gates. There's a lot of crickets going on right now. There's a lot of crickets.
There's a lot of crickets, man.
Yeah.
And Brother Jay Swans, no one wants to go to war, but if your country calls, you go. You don't have to fight or pull the trigger, but you spend time there with the radio as a medic. Something earns your freedom. Earn your freedom. That's what he's trying to say because, he's working. He's in front of a computer and still has time to send in the chats and stuff like that. I appreciate it. And Brother Nass, he's like, yeah, I agree. Every man should protect their country, not invading other places. And you know what? That's a valid statement, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. There are times that America does shit that doesn't make sense. After 9/11. Right, invading Saddam Hussein's Iraq was wrong. It was wrong. Afghanistan made sense, but Iraq was wrong. And George W. Bush knows he screwed that one up. You know what I mean? That's a big one.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not about invading other people's countries. That's like, that's almost just like saying like I don't believe in what you believe in, so we're gonna go over there and take over. That doesn't make any sense. I totally agree with you.
I agree, but here's the thing, though: as warriors, as soldiers, as sailors, as warriors, right? We can't really question those orders like that, man. We got because yes.
Oh, no, I was just saying it's how I feel about what this man is saying. Yes. Fuck what I feel, right? I got to do what they tell me. No question asked.
Yeah, you got to follow orders, and then when it's all said and done, and all the facts come out, then it's like, oh, that's fucked up. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still got to follow those orders. But I agree with you, bro. We shouldn't be doing that. And again, it's to the point. If every American had to join and be in the military for 2 years, I don't think George W. Bush would have done that. Afghanistan, yes, we had to take care of the Taliban. We had to do that. We knew where they were. We knew Al Qaeda was being harbored by the Taliban. We had to go there. But all the other stuff, no, because he would have to explain to his family why he's sending their children off to some faraway land.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's the big thing. I honestly believe that every American should have to serve 2 years.
That would actually make a lot of sense too, as far as economic standpoint as well. You have these kids who are like 18 that have no idea where they're going, and those same kids, they probably know where their next meal is going to come from. Or they're where they're going to sleep and make sure that they're safe. At least for 2 years, you'll have a salary, you'll have 3 square meals a day, you'll have a place to sleep. And who knows, maybe it could further your career into staying or having a trade to become a better fit for society when you get out.
Yeah, and that's the big part. You get 2 years of the real world. Mommy and daddy can't bulldoze shit anymore. You in the military. You belong to the military. And the military will be autonomous. No one is not owned by the 1%. It's the military.
Yeah.
So when you go in there, they're doing what they do. You will see what the world really works, how the world really works. The biggest problem with the 1% and the elites is the fact that they have no idea how the real world works. They have no idea. The 1%, the people I know who are in the 1%, they make a lot of money. They really do want to help, but they have no idea how bad it is out there. They don't understand. To them, they get upset if their favorite wine isn't at their favorite restaurant on that particular night. That fucks their day up.
First world problems, man.
Dude, that's it. First world fucking problem. Like, what do you mean it's going to take 3 extra weeks to get my new Rolex?
Yeah.
My God, I want my Rolex now. These are their issues. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I mean, I wish those
you earned
problems
it.
on everyone. I wish, brother JR, man, I wish that was your biggest problem is your Rolex was 2 weeks behind. I wish that was your biggest problem. You know what I mean? I wish. But that's not it. And if those elitist children were in the military and they were towing the line next to the guys from the hood, next to the guys from the trailer parks, next to the guys from the barrio, right? And they make these bonds. Are you still cool with the guys you served with?
Yeah. Again, it was like a small. I still talk to maybe a few people that I met in the military. Just a few, you know.
Same here. But if any of those guys you serve with would have called you're Johnny on the spot. Like
100%. 100%.
Now imagine if that same guy was part of the elite, was part of the 1%, because that's what would happen. These people would have ties. They would go home. If I served with a guy who was in the 1%, he would have come to Cincinnati on holiday, like on leave with me, and he could have seen it. Oh shit, this how y'all live? Yeah, bro, this is where I grew up. Wow. I didn't know that. Now he's gonna take that knowledge back to the 1%. So when his parents are talking about they're mad because their Rolex is late or their AP is late, he's gonna be like, AP, are you kidding me, man? Like Lewis was living in the hood. His people, his bullet holes in his room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, it would only help to make our society better. That post-World War II America, the elites went to fight too. The Kennedys were out there fighting right next to the guys who were, working for the bootleggers and shit like that.
Yeah.
And when they came home, America had the biggest growth, the biggest expansion, but they all understood the world. They all understood. They were out there
help building bombs, moving stuff.
Yeah, they were in combat. Yeah. Those guys were, Sans the Iwo Jima. Those guys were out there together. Bob Dole got shot up on the battlefield in Europe, right? So, and he became, almost became president of the United States. A very powerful politician with his arm. He couldn't use his arm because he got shot in the battlefield. You don't think that affected the way he governed? Absolutely, it did. And I think that's what Americans should do. We putting way too much emphasis on the bullshit. And brother Ness, am not a lib. I understand following orders. I blame the greedy politicians. I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you on that. Act Ozzy, the Taliban offered to give up bin Laden to neutral country, but Bush said, "Fuck that," because he wanted to get at Saddam Hussein. Now, I don't know if that's verified. I don't know where you get that from, but it makes sense to me, right? He has an opportunity. Like, let me get in here, and then once we get into Afghanistan, we can shoot right on over here, and we can invade the one country that had nothing to do with the attack on 9/11. There was not one Iraqi involved in that, but there were a lot of Saudis on those planes. We didn't invade Saudi Arabia. I went to Saudi Arabia, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't like them people over there. I just don't. It was what it was. We were over there. I'm like, man, these people y'all should fight Saddam yourself because y'all did some fuck shit. And here he comes. And y'all got us over here. I thought that was bullshit back in 1990s. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. If I was Saddam, I'd have did the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta know your history, y'all. You gotta get into that. I couldn't say that when I was serving, but as soon as I got out, I told the motherfuckers bullshit. So yeah, bro. That's an hour and a half, man. We've been in here. We've been ranting two old soldiers, the old sailor. You got anything you want to say in closing, bro? Reference to training or anything? You want to talk about anything?
No, I mean, it was good talking to you. It's good seeing you again. I'm really excited about coming Florida, come seeing you and Myron and Fresh and them.
Shit, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I like this talk. I mean, it's been a while since I even talked military in the first place. But yeah, this is good. I like this.
That's what's up, man. I'm so glad you agreed to do this, man. It's absolutely a pleasure talking to you. I want to have you on again, and I want to try to get the whole Fresh and Fit Dallas team on. And I want to talk womanizing. I want to talk leveling up, getting your finances right and getting your mindset right, man. I'm gonna holler at everybody, bro, and get at least 3 of y'all on here and have that discussion, man. I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, I think that'd be a good episode, man. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I would say it was me, Rod, Sika, Donnie, Sammy, and am I missing one? Joey.
Do me a favor, man. Make
Yeah.
that happen. I'll send you guys the links, and because we can all get on at the same time, and we'll just talk about. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, like, you know, Fresh and Fit catches a lot of heat, but people don't get to see the positive side of what they're doing.
They get heat because they feel like what they're saying is wrong. Again, the word feel, right? But if they take the feeling out and actually listen to them logically, it would all make sense.
It would. And you know what? Before I let you go, I'm gonna pull something up real quick. That I saw, and I think it was just Pearly Things. I don't know if you saw this. She had Justin on there talking about they were talking about Fresh and Fit. And
Just Pearly?
huh?
You said just Pearly?
Yeah,
I see her. Yeah, she's a huge red pill.
She is.
Yes.
And she had an episode. I'm trying to let me see if I can pull her up. Oh, here it is. There's an episode I want to pull up. I just wanted a quick sound bite, and hopefully she won't like report me or something like that. But where is it? Where is it? It was one that it was saying Fresh and Fit lie to women or some shit like that. God, I can't find it. That's what I get for not being prepared.
Well, you know, I'm really excited about this next our next meeting then, if that's the case, because there's a lot of things I want to, you know, get off my chest as far as how Fresh and Fit changed my life. And I'm pretty sure about the men that will be joining us as well.
Yes, and just one more second, I almost got it. Just Fresh and Fit hate women. That's what it was. Fresh and Fit hates women. And then because it's a real quick clip, I just wanted to play that's feeding into what we're talking about. They hate women. Here it is right here. Let me pull this up. Let me pause this. And I want to bring this up just because, and you're right, it was Jay Weller. Hey, Miss AK lady, what's going on? What's good? Let me I'm gonna showcase y'all in a second. I just want to pull this up, bro. You probably haven't seen this, but check this out, right? And you know,
Walter and Myron are absolute fucking heroes. I'll tell you why. Okay. Of course they help with muscle. Of course they help with money and helping understand money. But the number one thing that they do is help young men understand female nature. And both men and women need to thank Myron and Walt for exposing that.
Amen.
Now, it might not be at the same polarity of a Miami hoe, but if a man understands female nature...
A Miami lady.
No, those girls are hoes, bro. Okay. So, but if a man understands this female nature truly, the problem, in addition to marketing, is actually management, project management. You need to understand female nature. If you understand female nature, you are more likely, substantially more likely, to keep your woman happy. Because when she shit texts you and she doesn't know why, and you crack back and she's like, God, that was fucking sexy. I'll never leave this man. I'm telling you, Myron and Walt are fucking...
And then this video goes on. This is just Pearly Things. Go support her. Go join her YouTube channel. Like, she is hardcore red pill. She really is. She's harder than a lot of the dudes out there in the space. And she does it in a very nice way. That video, it goes on a bit. It's a 15-minute video. But that first minute or so, when you just hear the positive side of what they're trying to do over there, not just with Fresh and Fit, but in the manosphere, and they catch so much heat. But it is helping people. What we saw in Dallas was a testament to that. We had how many guys on that rooftop? It was fucking burning up.
Yeah, it was. I would say a little north of 100.
100 men,
Yeah,
of all walks of life, of all colors, right, of all backgrounds. There were businessmen up there, wealthy guys up there. There were guys who weren't so wealthy, guys who were just trying to get it together. Man, if anyone can make people better themselves, like Fresh and Myron, like Rolo, like Rich Cooper, Donovan, all these people, they're doing this. They're getting people to better themselves, men to better themselves. That only helps our society.
agreed. And I know that this we're at the end or whatever, but they I don't know if I want to say this for the next topic, but
we can do it Friday if you want. If you want to save it, we could jump right back on Friday, bro. If you want to save it,
yes, let's do it. I have so much to say about this. So much to say about that.
We gonna bring it. Get the team together, man, and I'm gonna make the thumbnail, and we gonna make that happen. Miss AK Lady, thanks for showing up. Was good. She's very. I can't call her red pill, but she's definitely red pill aware. Miss AK Lady, making things happen. She's a real one. Ack was telling me it was Jay Weller. Yes, absolutely. I did find it. And everybody's showing love to each other in the chat. Link the video. I will in the comments. I will link the video below. Just give me a second. I'll do that. Please go and support Pearl over there, Miss Pearly Things. She actually does this in London, which really go watch her channel. She's in London, right? She's an American. She's living in London. So if we let this video play on, the women she had in her studio are from the UK. And it just goes to show you it's not a Miami thing. It's not a New York thing. It's not an LA thing. This shit goes on in Dallas. I saw it firsthand in Dallas. Like, oh, look at this, which we're going to talk about Friday. So don't say nothing. Hold it in. We're going to talk about it on Saturday. You know what I mean? I've seen it in Cincinnati. I've seen it in Oklahoma City, right? I've seen it in Grayling, Michigan. Yeah, Uncle Saint gets around, y'all. I've seen it in Tennessee. Right, I've seen it in Delville, Alabama. I've seen it in Dothan, Alabama. This is true nature. It's men are the way they are, and women are the way they are. And men, if you're out there and you're blind to this, you're gonna get chopped up, bro.
Yeah,
you are going to get chopped up. And Ms.
It does roll into, that does roll back into as far as the Navy, right, and divorce rates, right. So, I mean, we can talk about it more on Friday. I don't want to spoil it, but Friday will be a fire show. If I'm privileged enough to get back on.
Absolutely, this is gonna happen, man. I'm sitting here now. I'm trying to copy. I think this is the link. I'm posting it now. I think that's the link right there, guys. I just dropped it in there. Ozzy has to drop it. I think that's the link right there. And then Miss AK Lady, she's like, I told you I don't do pills. She doesn't do pills. But here's the thing, red pill, blue pill, all that, man, it's just an easy way to get the message out there. People just kind of accept it and they know what we're talking about. But she's absolutely unplugged, y'all. Miss AK Lady, she's a real one. She knows what she's doing. Act Ozzy, she's from London, Canada, and travels London, England. Yes, she does. It's in cities mostly. And that's, man, it's in the country too, bro. It's not just in cities, man. It's wherever you can find Instagram is where it's that.
That's what it was. Yeah. I think Instagram, yeah, you could be in, literally in bumfuck Nebraska, and you could be not even in Lincoln or in Omaha. You could just be in the middle of a cornfield. As long as she has Instagram on her phone, she's connected.
She's connected. And even Andrew Tate said this. He was talking to some woman in Moldova, some obscure place in Eastern Europe. And she had an Instagram and had some 100,000 plus followers. You know what I mean? It might have been 1 million. It was some stupid name. But the woman barely had running water in the house, but she had Instagram and she had all these thirsty simps. So all right, we're gonna leave it there, bro. We're gonna Friday.
I'm excited about Friday. About having the and everything.
Hit the team up, bro. Hit the team up. I'm gonna send you I'm gonna make a thumbnail. I'm gonna send it to you. We're gonna sit there. We're gonna have a red pill. We're gonna have a red pill chat with the Fresh and Fit Dallas team. And we're gonna talk about womanizing. We're gonna talk about getting your finances up. We're gonna talk about getting your mindset up. Hey man, great show, bro. Thanks for coming on and hooking me up, JR, man.
Listen, thank you for blessing me with your presence. Thank you for your time as well.
Oh man, I got you, bro. We'll see you out here soon. Yo, I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. That's JR from Fresh and Fit Dallas over there. A 100% proven sailor, and I'm an old soldier. I'll talk to y'all later.